What's going on, my peoples? Kevin King Supreme in the building. You already know, back with OK Beats and a new tutorial for making beats. And I got a new setup. Hopefully you like the way it looks. And nah, man, I'm just gonna get straight into it. If you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe. If you know anybody that likes making beats, you can go ahead and share this with them. If you got any questions towards the end or at any point during this tutorial, just go ahead and ask them on the comment section down below. Alright, appreciate y'all. But anyways, let's get right into it. I'm gonna go ahead and minimize the screen real quick. Now I'm gonna go into make a melody right off the bat. So I'm gonna go ahead and press this little plus key right here so that we could add any instrument we want. We're gonna go with the Mellotron. Got something. Alright, and I'm gonna go with chord I'm familiar with over here a little bit. Something like that. Let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna go ahead into options. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go into tools and dump score log in the last 2 minutes. Just because I like that last thing I played. Go ahead into this and delete this right here. This was all unnecessary stuff. Alright, so go into this piano roll right here and find my keys that I just played. There we go. Delete that stuff. Delete anything that looks like it doesn't belong. Highlight everything. Guys, I'm a bit slow here today. Let's bring this all the way to the front. Highlight all. Press play. Let's see what that sounds like. Wait, first of all, is it in time? And it's not, so I have to hit Option Q. Accept. It's a little bit more in time, but it's still not exactly on time, so I have to go in there manually. Select that. Move it over. Put it into this line. Same thing with this column right here. Take it, move it over. Wow, and honestly, I don't exactly need to listen to what this sounds like to know that it's a progression. It's a chord progression. It's just a regular chord progression. So I already know that I want to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some notes here. There we go. In the beginning, I'm gonna add little accents. That's what it's called, little accents. Put that in there. And I want to see what that sounds like. I'm gonna make those even smaller, those accents. And then I'll take those up and I'll copy and paste them every bar. Now listen to this real quick. I'm gonna take these real quick, bring them to the beginning of the bar, just to make sure everything lines up nice. I'm gonna switch position of this one and this one. take the cutter tool and I'm gonna slice across the end of this whole column, just so I can see what comes out real quick. Wait, I didn't hear any difference at all. Hold up. Maybe we gotta separate them some too. Okay, not bad. Okay, let's see. I'll cut through these two. Cut through all of these. And we're just experimenting here, so bear with me. There's a lot of let's see what this sounds like, let's see what that sounds like, and so on and so forth. But we'll go ahead and highlight all of these, highlight all of these, highlight all of these, and pull back just like I did on the first column. So now let's see what everything sounds like. Okay, I like that. I like that. So we'll go ahead and get into the channel rack and give it a bass note as well. Something that's gonna go all the distance. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, and cut here at the end. And take that up. A few notes. Turn the volume down, the velocity down on these bass notes here. Except this one, I want that one to stand out a little bit more. So let's see what that sounds like. Okay. I like the way that sounds. Okay. So then I'll go in and create something that sounds good with that melody. Maybe I like that. It's really subtle. I'm gonna go ahead and add it in there. Okay, excuse that sound, guys. You know I'm in the basement, so all the water that runs throughout the house ends up running through these pipes down here, so you might hear that from time to time. Anyway, let's hear this real quick. Cut itself off every time another instance comes on. So that sounds pretty cool. Let's see, it's very subtle like I said, but I'll turn down the volume up a little bit on that, shift it over a little bit so we have a little delay. Alright, wow, so right now I'm still looking for some bells. I still want some bells, I feel like. So go ahead and find some bells here real quick. I like that. Okay, let's hear this. Okay. I'm hearing something here. I'm hearing something. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and add something else. Let me see, maybe guitar. Let's see. Hold on. Place that. Violin. That sounds better. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let's see what that sounds like. Let's play with these notes a little bit. Much better. I'm gonna give it this percussion. I'm gonna give it a little bit of delay. Just a little bit. Swing, little tiny shift. Not bad. Not bad so far. Alright, let's add some drums. Let's go for some kind of rap beat. Not exactly like trap, like rap, but like with trap drums though. So let's go into chop kits. See this. Can't sleep is equal kicks. Let me see something. Actually, let me see. I want to play with this tempo a little bit just to see what sound, if it sounds better a little bit slowed down or what. Let's see. Actually, this is sounding more like a little island type vibe, so yeah, let me see if I could add this kick right here and put it like a 4 to the floor kind of. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, now let's get some claps. A clap from the same kit. There you go. And then give this like a little reggae vibe right here. Put it on every third. Let me see. No, on every fourth and then third. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, more or less. We'll get there. We'll build on that. See what this like. What this life be like right here. Let's see. So now that we got a better understanding of what this beat is gonna be like, I'm gonna go ahead and save this real quick. Cheers Hall, because it's a cheery type dance hall type beat, and I don't really know what else the name is, so let's hear it. I know that sounds like a big mumbled jumbled mess, and we don't have no 808s yet, so let me see. I like this. This is a real subtle bass. So I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3. Let me see. To the mixer and the channel rack, and I'm gonna highlight everything in the channel rack and say Command L, and that takes everything into the mixer in its own channel, puts everything in its own channel. So here we go, we're gonna listen to this while we see all the levels. And I'm also gonna order each one of these instruments in mixer by their sounds in the frequency, or by their by their positions in the frequency spectrum. So 808 is gonna be the first thing, then the kick's gonna come in, then the clap and the snare is gonna come in, and then the percussion is gonna come in, and then the melody is gonna come in. So that's exactly the order that I like to use when it comes to these instruments. gonna mess with this Mellotron a little bit, so I'm gonna go into the Mellotron mixer and I'm gonna add a plug in here called Drip. And this is a preset called, let's see, maybe Ice. Let's see what that sounds like. I like that. Okay, and then go into the same one and go to Pro Q3 to add a little EQ to it. I'm gonna go ahead and go into the presets and add a low cut. So let's listen to that. Alright, another thing that I want to do to it is add halftime to it. I know you guys know more or less what halftime is. It's a really cool plugin. Go into the 1/8. Let's hear that. So another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to filter it from the high end. Excuse me. So I'll go into, what's this called? One knob filter right here by Waves. Bring that down to like 8. To this kick a little bit. Go ahead, put a Pro Q on it. Let's put this the phone preset on it, just because I only want to control the last band and the first band, and all of these ones in the middle as well. So now we're going to take this violin and put some kind of arpeggiator or something to make it pump. So we'll go with the one knob pumper here and see what that sounds like. Stereo-wise it a little bit here. Put a little bit of compression on this little vocal thing here so you can hear it better. Compression, some gain, 60 Hertz, and then slower a little bit. Also put this EQ on it as well. Another thing I want to do is bring up the pitch a little bit on those vocal chops. So I'm going to click on the pattern window here, and that's what the pitch. All the way up. We'll go ahead and put some echo to it too. Saturation on this 808. I'm gonna go with the Devil Lock Deluxe here by Sound Toys. Bring the darkness up a little bit, and crush it a little bit. I'm also going to put some compression on that so it can stand out. In mono, of course, I'll put the CLA 3A mono so we can hear that more. Alright, and then I'll go ahead and pull back on this Devil Lock a little bit. And then I'll turn this down from the fader so you can keep all its effects. Turn it all down to like -10. I'm looking at this meter here, and then just kind of tailor everything around that. So I gotta turn down this violin, certainly. That's the loudest thing in the mix, in my opinion. Turn that up some. Stereo-wise, this little percussion, and also give it some compression. Put CLA 76 stereo from Waves, Bluey. Faster. Alright, sounds good. Now I can turn this down. Mix. Like that. Go ahead and click on the pattern. Let's press split by channel. Highlight the first one, highlight the last one, holding shift. That's gonna highlight all of them. X out of here. Drag it into track 5. That's gonna drag all of them. Copy this about 8 times. minute and change with this same pattern. So as I like to do with almost all of my beats, I like to make an intro, a hook, a verse, and then another hook as an outro. So if I need to elongate the beat or extend it, it's easy to do because I can do it by section. So we'll keep this short and sweet. I'll take off the 808 from the beginning, the kick, the clap. I'll keep the percussion halfway through. I'll leave the mellotron, and I'll keep the vocal. And the violin, I'll start it halfway through as well. Let's see what that sounds like. I'll put this in song mode as well. I'll delete this, because that sounds nice. That was the hook. Now we're gonna fix the verse. We know that the hook is gonna contain almost all of the elements, so we're gonna go right into the verse real quick and just create some variation. So I'll go ahead and start the bass right here, the kicks, and go in and out at the beginning and the very end. We'll keep the claps alive all the way. Start the vocal chops later on. Stop this violin to come in halfway later too. And then we'll come over here, highlight this whole thing, pull back on it so it creates a little drop there in the whole beat. I'm gonna go ahead and eliminate some more of this mellotron towards the end, the very beginning of this. And I think this 808 maybe can get shaved off a little bit right here. And again, we'll keep the clap constant to like right here. Let that go, so that looks nice. And then over here, since the song quote unquote will be ending right here, we'll go ahead and remove an element like the clap and the kick, and we'll leave the 808 and the percussion and the melody continuing. Then we're gonna create a fade out. The way we create a fade out is we go into the mixer, we go into the master track, we right click right here on the fader of the master track, click on create automation clip, and this brings this onto your playlist editor. I'll drag it all the way to the top usually, so I have control of the volume for the whole project right there. So I'll go here to the end of that track, I'll click on that little ball that's there and click on copy value. I'll right click on a bar before it, like a half a bar before it, right click on it, paste that value so that way it's the same level as the rest of the track. Then I'll drag this very last one down so that creates a fade, and then I'll fine tune the fade or smooth out the fade by pulling down at the middle of that fade right there. So let's see what this sounds like. Let's see what this whole beat sounds like real quick. Go into my watermark real quick, because I know I want to put that. That sounds good. Put one in the beginning, one towards the end. I'm looking for risers and sound effects to sprinkle into my beat.
Okay, Beatz, baby.
All right. So let's see. Going to pop drums. I got that little nice little cymbal right there, and I'm gonna place that here so that when the first hook comes in, it drops with that cymbal. But I'm also gonna place it over here. Click on this little icon right here, say make unique, double click on it, hit reverse, so that way it's in reverse, and then we hear it right before it comes in regular with the hook. That's called a drop. So another thing that we got to do is go into this channel rack here, click on all up here, right click on all of these little things, or just double click on this so that way it'll highlight everything, and then you're gonna hit command. Oh, my bad, those are already in there. These are the ones that don't have, so I'll just highlight these three. Hit command L, that way they all have a placement, and the mixer track. So let's hear what that sounds like, and then just mix these sounds down as we add them and listen to them. We'll start here.
Okay, Beatz, baby.
Alright, that's obviously too loud, so I turned it down. Let's hear it
Okay,
again.
Beatz, baby.
Sounds good.
Okay, Beatz, baby.
Alright. And I'll add this cymbal at the hook at the end too. This impact sound, so I could just kind of like put it in where the verse begins.
Okay.
Double click on it, put in its own track, and let's listen to it. Alright, turn that down, obviously. Good, so now I'll go into a little hat. I like that one because it's long. I'll put it in here. Zoom in. Put it at the end of this drop right here, right before the hook comes back in. I'll right click on it and I'll reverse it. Give it its own track. Turn it down some. Let's hear it. Actually, what I want to do here, there's this little icon right here, and this is called the stretch tool, whatever, stretch audio tool. So once I click that, I'm able to go into the edge of this clip and then stretch it backwards. There you go. So since all of this is empty right here, this is all we're going to be hearing. So what I'll do, so it doesn't come in too harsh, is I will drag this little fade, this little clip fade tool all the way to there so that it can fade in. Let's hear what that sounds like. Alright, I love it. So here we have a beat with 13 instruments or sounds in total.
Okay, Beatz, baby.
Let's see, what is that? I do not think that this is, yeah, this is not part of our sound selection, so I'm going to delete this one. That way it's nowhere near our stuff. I'm going to go back into the mixer, delete the mixer track that was meant for it, reset selected tracks to default, okay, and then highlight it, hold option, and move it to the right until it joins the rest of these empty slots or empty tracks on the mixer. So, you know, that's pretty much it. Let me see, I'll go into the master track and I'll put the classic clipper, TR5 classic clipper in it by T-Rax. I'll turn it up to like 1.4 dB and the output as well to like 1.4 dB as well. Make this a little bit edgy because I like that dynamic. This would have turned it softer if I would have went this way, but I want that kick to be heard. So let's hear what this sounds like now.